Hey folks, how you doing? My name's Dave McRae. So the other day I was asked why I think so many people appear to be disappointed with today's movies. Okay, well, putting aside for a moment that, sometimes movies are just bad movies. And certainly there are a number of reasons why many moviegoers may feel angry and disappointed with the Hollywood machine in 2025. But I think it goes beyond a movie some movie fans may think is too woke or a legacy sequel they didn't get right. I think it goes deeper than that. Something that exists today that didn't exist when I was growing up through the 80s and the 90s. Something that is affecting every movie fan, even if they don't realize it consciously, especially if you're dialed into the movie fandom space. Here is one of the main reasons, one of the big reasons why that movie magic and that love of movies you used to feel is gone. Today, the volume of information that is obtained and known by the moviegoer before a movie even begins production, let alone released, is unprecedented. Trailers, leaks, set photos, behind-the-scenes footage, out-of-theater reactions, and early reviews flood the internet before a movie even premieres. While this level of access can be fun and help to build anticipation, I'm certainly not against all of it, it also fosters a culture of premature criticism and dissatisfaction, which ultimately creates desensitization and the removal of movie magic. Movie fans today are rarely satisfied because they form strong, premature opinions before a movie is even released. They are influenced by overwhelmingly negative online discourse and struggle with unrealistic expectations fueled by the internet before a film hits the screen. And the biggest casualty of them all? The loss of the magic of discovery. There was once a time when walking into a movie theater and experiencing a movie for the first time was magical. The lack of information that you had meant that each moment in the story, each moment with the characters, each moment on screen could unfold naturally, surprising and delighting movie fans without being filtered through months and months and sometimes years of online discourse and unrealistic presumptions and expectations. Now, that sense of wonder is largely gone. Instead of being immersed in the world of a film, many movie fans spend their time comparing it to the leaks, trailers, and fan theories they consumed beforehand. Rather than letting themselves be swept up in the experience, they mentally check off a list of expectations, often leading to inevitable disappointment. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm firmly convinced that if social media had existed in the 80s and 90s, some of the movies we now consider classics might not hold the same status today. Watching them through the lens of modern social media discourse and constant punditry could have drastically altered their reception. Of course, word of mouth still existed back then, but your exposure to a film was usually limited to a commercial or a magazine article or maybe a segment on Entertainment Tonight. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not making excuses for bad movies and bad storytelling. I'm simply pointing out that the saturation of online film discourse in today's modern movie sphere can create a ripple effect, causing audiences to view movies through a compromised lens rather than forming their own opinions. Even if you don't think you're doing this while watching a movie, you more than likely are subconsciously. Websites like Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic turn film fandom into a numbers game. A film with an 80% rating is suddenly seen as not good enough, and anything below 50%, that's dismissed entirely. Unless a movie fan is literally reading the reviews, and let's face it, most of you aren't, and not merely just looking at the numbers, they're likely missing a boatload of nuance. Meanwhile, review bombing, yes, it does exist, where fans give extreme negative scores before even seeing a movie, can create a distorted perception of a film's quality. Now, that doesn't mean that the movies out there that are rated low are not deserving of that rating, but we cannot pretend that two things can't be true at the same time. Review bombing does exist. This toxic fandom discourages audiences from forming their own opinions. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, ultimately, the internet has changed how audiences engage with movies, and that includes watching them in the theater or at home, making it nearly impossible to satisfy them. Yes, bad movies still do exist. And yes, we live in a day and age where IP is king and sequels are dominant and nostalgia is big business. But with so much information at our fingertips and review culture shaping opinions before a movie is even released and sometimes even gone into production to be made, modern moviegoers are primed for disappointment rather than enjoyment. The magic of discovering a film is gone. My name's Dave McRae. Cheers.